right. Hello, Matt Sweaters. Hello. So today, thank you so much for showing up for yourself and being here. First off, I want to acknowledge you for being here. So give yourself a pat on the back. Second of all, this is Matt Sweat. So welcome. You need nothing but yourself, your body, your mat, and your determination to improve both your mental and your fitness. So This is a friendly and welcoming community. It's the Matt Sweat community. So webcams on and mics disabled. That way we can hear Ashley and myself. Ashley, my comrade, my partner in crime, is actually out sick today. She's handling herself and her daughter. So I get to handle this solo. So thanks for giving me the grace to do that. You know how we do here at Matt Sweat. We are going to focus on mindset. So as promised, today we are talking about the power of creating free time. And I always love basing things in science. I'm sure you love that as well. And so free time is the exact opposite of I don't have enough time, right? And so that can be a challenge for us, not only because now we're around the holidays, but life is busy. Your life is busy, my life is busy, the kid's life is busy, your spouse's life is busy, your mom's life is busy, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your friends, everyone's life is busy. And so when we look at creating enough time or creating free time in our lives, it's actually about the compounding effects of what that has to do and how it improves our overall well-being. So we were born calm. Free time allows us the ability to not be in the rat race, to not be in handling this, and in that frazzled state of mind. When we're not in that frazzled state of mind, we get to be calm and we get to have the ability and the space to make decisions. And often the decisions that we make out of that space is better for ourselves, better for those around us. And it's more considered than those decisions that are made in that hasty state, right? Think about it when you got to get somewhere, you got to get to soccer practice, you have to get to this meeting, PTA, this, that, bing, bang. What are you going to do? You're going to run by the fast food joint on the way home and pick up something and eat it in your car while you've got one hand on the steering wheel, or maybe one hand doing your mascara and one knee on the steering wheel, and you're going down the road above the speed limit, right? We know what that feels like, and it feels like a lot of pressure, which we talked about in the last episode. So I like to base things in science. I don't like to guess, and of course I'm going to insert my opinion, but I base things in science and based in research. So the free time allows us to have a better intention for when we show up, and it allows us to create more within our lives. So let's think about successful people. And we would think that if you're more successful, you have less free time, you're really busy, and all of these things, right? We can think of people like Elon Musk. We can think about Jeff Bezos or Tony Robbins or Mark Zuckerberg or Oprah. Mind you, all those names that I just mentioned are self-made people. They didn't inherit a whole bunch of wealth. They were poor growing up, and now they're not. So what that tells us is that the keys to success, they would know them. And so there's an author who wrote a book. The book is called Change Your Habits, Change Your Life. The author is Tom Corley, and he was an accountant and financial planner. And a few years ago, he surveyed 233 wealthy people, most of them self-made millionaires, like the people I just mentioned. And he also surveyed a group of not so wealthy people. And he really looked at the daily habits, and what he uncovered in his research, and then later in the book, Change Your Habits, Change Your Life, he goes on to explain that wealthy people set themselves up for success in a few specific ways. And their habits are kind of common. There are common habits and patterns that we can identify as being that of successful people. So here's the first one. 76% of rich people carve out at least 30 minutes or more a day for aerobic exercise. Aerobic meaning jogging, biking, walking, they're elevating their heart rate. And what that's doing is also increasing the endorphins that they're experiencing throughout their day. Better clarity, more motivation in their mental stamina, but also clarity of mind. So when we look at the 76% of high performing people and rich people that carve out at least 30 minutes in their day, that's a pattern, right? We're at 76%. The study goes on to say that there was actually a Harvard study, not from Tom Corley, but there was a Harvard study that CNBC reported on, and they said that people who spend 15 minutes at the end of their day reflecting about the lessons that they learned perform 20% better, 23% better than their other fellow people. So 15 minutes at the end of the day. This doesn't need to look like anything specific. This could be journaling. This could be a cup of hot cocoa. This could be tea. This could be reading at night. This could be meditation. But take some time, whether you're in the shower. I do this in the shower. I will think about this when I'm showering at the end of the day, and I will inventory my day. Was it a good, bad, neutral? And there's no judgment. There's no shame. There's no blame. I'm just inventorying. The word that has been coming up a lot in my mind is auditing, right? You audit your finances, you audit your website, but how often do we audit our lives? And so whether that's the influence of people around us, or whether you had a good, bad, or neutral day. So other studies have found that the self-reflection can help you become a happier, more productive, and less burnt out person. And as we're talking about creating more free time, that's directly related to not being burnt out. So even if you struggle with the idea of self-reflection, try doing this. I'm going to invite you to do this just for the next few days. Make a conscious decision to take these next few days, maybe through the end of this week and into the weekend. And when you're in the shower, hopefully we all shower every day. When you're in the shower, take a moment, and I'm going to invite you to inventory how your day went. So the best gift that we can give ourselves is that gift of free time. It doesn't need to look like, 2 hours of a workout or 2 hours of family time, or it doesn't need to look like anything specific. Just today, I had some time between calls and meetings, and if you know me personally, you know that my calendar looks like Tetris. And so in my calendar, I had a 15-minute little gap. Doesn't need to be anything more than that. And what I did is I made myself a little emergency, like an airborne, and I sat there and I put a timer on my phone, and it was 7 minutes, because that's what I wanted to give myself. I wanted to give myself 7 minutes so that, hi, Klaus, how are you? So I wanted to give myself 7 minutes of time where I was not responsible for anything. I gave up responsibility, and I gave up the need to do anything. And I gave up the guilt for feeling like I wasn't doing this, or that I needed to do this, or anything like that. I set a timer on my phone, and for 7 minutes, I just sat. That drink will usually take me 2 hours to finish because I'm busy. I finished that drink in 2.5 minutes. And so I had about 4 or 5 minutes where I just sat there and I looked at the wall, and I looked at the blinds, and I looked at the plant that was on the table, and I just looked at the outline of the plant, and I let my mind unplug for a moment. And what a gift that was. And then I got up and I looked, and I was kind of done. I had 12 seconds left on my timer, and I was able to get up and move on with my day. And I felt a little bit lighter. Now, this is nothing profound, but I set aside time, and I was committed to giving myself that time throughout my day, during my day, right? It wasn't a reflection, which is what we talked about too. It wasn't morning, setting ourselves up with a great morning, but it was within the span of my day. So I'm giving you some tools. You take what fits well for you and use that for yourself.